Hello. Hello. I'm David Gyasi, aka DG,
What's going on? I am Governor B.
and welcome to AFCONnect, the first ever podcast that truly celebrates the football of Africa, its players, and their impact around the world. It's here. The 2026 World Cup, the biggest ever in the competition's history, with 48 teams, 3 host nations, and 104 games. A record 10 African nations are represented in this competition, and Gov and I are loving the football.
We are. I feel like I didn't get World Cup fever till very late. I think it's probably still warming, but as I watch every game, me and my son, he's 6 now, he's super into football. When he wakes up, we'll watch the highlights. I feel like it's coming, man, and there's been some great matches so far.
So nice, So my boy wasn't really into football, and still isn't. But if an African team is playing, you'll see him creep downstairs, say, what's going on? And it's been quite nice, to just sit with him and watch a little bit. My daughter's all over. She's into football, it's lovely. But it's nice. And just as a family to kind of sit and get into it. So it has been a reward to have that enjoyment in the house. What else contributed to you not getting World Cup fever till later?
I guess in addition to just life being quite busy at the moment with work, I kind of compartmentalized the World Cup in my head. So I was almost like, when it starts, I'll get into it then. There wasn't a lot of kind of pre-excitement, but now it's here. I'm ready. And I was asked by ITV last week to do a voiceover for the England game. So they were trying to get a bit more creative with the graphics that you see with the team lineups before the game starts. So while I was doing that voiceover, it was Ezri Konsa who was starting, and the line was Ezri Konsa repping Newham, and I'm from Newham. So there was a bit of magic in that, because I'm like, rah, man, like a guy that grew up in my ends is now starting at a World Cup. That's pretty amazing, you know what I mean? Walking the same streets, going to the same schools, all that kind of stuff. So I think that all kind of contributed to me, in addition to being a dad, getting the World Cup fever. And then obviously it's a bit tricky. I don't know how you're kind of navigating this. We haven't spoken about it properly, but England and Ghana being in the same group, and the allegiance thing is interesting because I'm a British born Ghanaian. So it's strange. I want both teams to do well, obviously, but I don't know how I'm going to feel when they play each other. I would have loved for it to be the third game and both teams had already qualified, so it didn't matter as much, but it's the second game, so it's big for both teams,
Yeah. It's interesting. I was speaking to my guy at the gym, Nana, and he said, I'll take a draw. I just want a draw. And I thought, it's so interesting for me. Like, never before has this happened in international competition. And so I was asked this recently, and for me it comes down to love. Like, I love England. It's where I was born. It's where my kids were born. It's where I met my wife. It's where I got married. It's where all my schooling, where I learnt to play the game of football and learnt how to support a football team, was in England. For me, it's about love. I'm very fortunate to have experienced a kind of love that I would say is akin to unconditional from my parents, and that is really gorgeous and addictive to have. And England, I've given a lot of love to, and I've had a lot of love from, but I've also been reminded when Saka misses a penalty or Rashford misses a penalty, I've been reminded of something. And now I think both you and I, we walk in a light that sort of negativity is not going to affect us or knock us off our path. I think the body holds a certain amount of trauma. And so I wonder when the whistle goes, and I won't really know until the game, whether those things will play a part in which flag I'm waving. But it's
I hear that.
The England. I mean, we've got to talk about the England team because I mean they look incredible. They look really, really sharp, and they look like they've not come to play. They've not come to just participate. You know.
Yeah, no, that was the second half, like you say, was the best I've seen England play in a long time, and they never really looked like losing. Where sometimes, I think I read a stat earlier that this is the first time they've beaten a top 15 ranked team in a major competition for something like 15 years. I think, I can't remember
Really?
the last game. Yeah, first time they've beaten a top 15 ranked team in a number of years, which is it's pretty wild.
Wait, so didn't we get to like semis and finals? We've had easier paths then. Is that what they're saying?
I believe so. So at the time that we got to the semis and the finals, the teams that we played en route must not have been top 15
Top
ranked by
15.
FIFA. Yeah. So bearing that in mind, we've come a long way. I think obviously there were question marks with some of the bigger names that Tuchel left out, but you were really able to see in that game that he prioritized the style of play and chose players that fitted the way that he wanted to play, rather than traditionally we've always gone for just the best players, right? Even if they don't fit the system.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we'll see. It was great second half.
We'll see. Standout moment for you?
I'm not gonna say Cape Verde because that's just so obvious. I think that's probably when World Cup fever hit. Like, this is what it's about. So that goes without saying. But I would say, just because he's a friend that I met through my work with West Ham, but seeing Aaron Wan-Bissaka's performance for Congo, and them able to get a draw against Portugal, and him having a flawless game, like a untold amount of tackles, just kind of making people remember why Man United spent all that money on him, and how like 1v1 defending, I don't think there's many better players. So I was just filled with an immense sense of pride. I saw videos of a friend of the show, Eddie Caddy, hosting an event for Congolese fans, and how excited they got when they scored. For me, that was like, man, I know I'm Ghanaian, but that's amazing, man. I love that for them.
Yeah, we were all Congolese in that.
Trust me.
Moment. It's and they know how to party, bro. They really know how to get down. I think we do as well, but yeah.
How about you?
I'm really enjoying the moments where humans connect. You know, I saw a beautiful thing of a shirt swap in the crowd after the Spain Cape Verde game, and I love stuff like that. I do. I think later on in the competition, then I'm looking at goals and like incredible skill moments and whatever. But for me, these moments off the field that are just counter to some of the other stuff that's going on in the world right now is to me is beautiful. So due to the two of us being here, what we've done is we have sent our wonderful producer Tim-o-TAY to the US of A. Not because we thought he wouldn't have visa issues, but Timothy, let me start, Timothy. How long did it take you to get through immigration? Where did you go? Did you go to New York? Did you fly
flew into
LA?
New York, walk straight through.
Straight through. Great. Mate, it's so good to have you on here.
Thanks, guys. Great to be back.
With us.
Great to see you. Yeah.
What? So you're out there. We see you're supporting a Senegal cap. Tell us a bit about the cap. How did you acquire it? What's the sitch?
Well, I think, David, I know this of you too. Sadio Mane is my guy, man. I mean, he was my favourite Liverpool player whilst he was there, even with the great Mo Salah. Just love him. Love the way he plays, the things he can do. So I was lucky enough to go to the France-Senegal game, and it was epic. And I got this there, and met some lovely Senegalese fans. Atmosphere was incredible, and the stadium was nuts. And it was a really, really good game. I actually think Senegal were the better team for the first half, and then once we got into the second half, I also think the drinks breaks had a little bit of a reset for France, but it was the subs. I mean, they brought on Bradley Barcola, they brought on Cherky, who for me is like the standout City player this season. Didn't start for them, and I think that was the point. But I would say Sadio, the man, probably lucky about that pen. We were watching it in the stands. You could tell it was a pen. So the ref was not giving anything. That it was like a bloodbath out there, and he was like, "It's fine, carry on." It was nuts. He was just not blowing up. I mean, I guess he was consistent in that, but to be called over and observe it, see for himself, and then still decide that he was right in the first place is kind of a bit nuts. But I think brazen. It's brazen. I think it's one of the things that I think we might see more and more through this tournament is that the big powerhouse teams are able to ring the subs, bring on 4 or 5 players, and keep that energy and keep that drive going. And I think that the smaller teams who have that great first team, it's a bit like the Premiership, isn't it? Towards the end of a game, they can just influence a game like that, and that's what I've observed so far in terms of at least that specific game.
Quickly on that game, what was it like watching Michael Olise in person? Obviously, we've all seen what he can do in the Premier League, but it feels like he's just improved so much. For me, watching the game, he looks like the standout player. Algerian mother, Nigerian father, African roots there. Did he look like different gravy compared to the rest?
Olise was a little quiet, but there's no doubt of his ability. The French it's interesting. I think the French have unbelievable ability, but I think they can be got at. I was really impressed with Senegal. Like I said, first half, they were the better team. They probably should have led. Sarr, number 18, Sarr, was absolutely amazing. He was a nightmare for their defense. His pace is ridiculous. But he's got it all. And, I don't know if you remember that shot that came back off the post and then off the keeper's boot and out. France were lucky. They were fortunate. And then they just switched up a gear. And when you've got Mbappe on the field, he's a difference maker. In terms of like football, just talking about football as well, I also felt, Morocco really were the better team against Brazil. They look really good. And the surprising thing for me is how different they look under the new coach, really attacking, really dynamic. And when you talk about England, and it's the same thing, I was not expecting with Thomas Tuchel a team to come out and play like that. And it's like the handbrake was off, and it was joyous. It was joyous to watch England do that, joyous to watch Morocco do that. Morocco looked like a real team. So, yeah, I think Senegal were unlucky. I don't think their World Cup is over by any stretch. I think that, we're going to see several African nations run deep. The question mark for me is the squad in depth. When you look at England, look at the subs that they brought on. I mean, they bring on Saka and Rashford. Is ridiculous. It's Rodgers, nuts. Yeah.
What's it feeling like in America? Has World Cup fever hit? What's the
so it's really interesting question. So I think everything that I'm about to say we have to couch within the prism of the disgraceful immigration issues that have gone on here, and a government that's bordering on authoritarian in its approach to the rest of the world and internally as well. So it's hard to put that to one side, but I guess we kind of just have to just talk about the event of the World Cup. I think it was a slow burner, maybe like it was back home. There's been a huge sporting event out here, which was the Knicks winning the NBA finals, which has kind of dominated the sports media. They haven't done it in 30, 40 years.
53.
Jalen 53. There you go. Jalen Bronson, standout player for them, was absolutely unbelievable. There's been an enormous parade this week in New York, so that sort of dominated it. However, the football is taking over, and again, we just talked about Morocco and a new coach. Pochettino has got the USA playing football I've never seen them play before. I mean, sorry, Gov, I'm going to have to say it. It's heavy metal football. It's like what Jurgen Klopp was teaching everyone to do. It's remarkable.
It, Tim. Feel free to say what you need to say on that.
So, the Pochettino influence shining through here on this US team. And of course, let me just say, the US team are a really, really talented group of young individuals. I think arguably the strongest team the US has ever fielded. Certainly, in my opinion, that was the best US team, men's team I've ever seen play. They were outstanding from start to finish. I really do believe Poch has got them playing heavy metal football. It is full-on, aggressive, high press, maybe not quite gegenpressing, but really pressing the ball. And they suffocated Paraguay. And Paraguay are a solid team, and they just didn't give them a shot. To win the first game like that, in the manner that they did, and to play such fun, exciting football as they did, has captivated this country. And it is going to be one hell of a game as we talk right now. It's Friday morning, US time. The big game is obviously Australia. Australia acquitted themselves brilliantly in their 2-1 win as well. So this is the game for the winning the group, and it's a big deal. Just like yesterday was a big deal winning the group for Mexico, who get to play in their home nation. Actually, I should double check that. Mexico won, right?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. I went to bed. So Mexico, in winning their group, means they're going to play their first round of 32 at home, and they're going to play in Mexico City, 7,200 feet up in the air. That's a massive advantage. Same applies to the US. If they can win the group with a victory over Australia today, who knows where they could go? And it's only going to grow here. I will say, like, off the field as well, there's been a real love from people visiting the US, the people that have made it here, that is. There's funny tweets about people discovering ranch dressing for the first time, and it's the most delicious thing they've ever had, and why don't we have that in Europe? There's been lovely meetings of people. I would say the American people, by and large, are really good people, very welcoming and very hospitable. But there's no, just getting back to it, there's always going to be a shadow over this World Cup. And, an estimated 10 million people to travel has turned into 1.5 million as a result. People aren't showing up. That said, there's a lot of local fans. The Senegalese people I spoke to were from New York, and they got to come and support their team. And it's a massive country, over 300 million people. There's a lot of real support here for the international teams. It's a mixed bag, to be honest, over here. I'm just enjoying the football so much, because I just love the World Cup. It's just the best, isn't it?
So it is, man, and we should never let that be taken away from us or dampened in any way. Bro, it's wonderful to have you out there. I'm sure we'll be checking in with you some more.
Indeed.
Yeah, get to a Ghana game next. Get yourself some jollof rice and stuff. Thank you so much, Tim-o-TAY.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.